person, and sometimes I get questions or people message me about like what equipment I use, etc. So I figured I'd just do a video on it, and I think it's nice for people who watch, even if you don't want to make ASMR yourself, just like a bit of a background exclusive at like what I do to make my videos. A little bit of background. So I'm going to start out by talking about how I started and what I was using at the beginning, and kind of progress through to things that like you don't necessarily need to make ASMR, but they are helpful. The further you get along, like the more you want to invest into it. There's a range, you know, so I'm going to start out with like the basics, and then semi-basics, like things that are helpful but you don't need, and then things that you really don't need but they're fun to have. Starting off with the basics, I personally started my channel with no microphone. I started with just my iPhone. Just my iPhone that I had at the time. This is an iPhone 12. Very basic phone, nothing special, no major cameras, and I just use the front camera. I've always used the front camera unless I'm using my attachment for when I'm doing like Pokemon videos. If I am filming Pokemon videos or Stardew videos, those videos are usually back camera, but any videos like this, they're always my front camera. Do not underestimate the iPhone front camera. It's very, very good. And my settings, I have the video settings 4K and 30 FPS. I have tried 60, but for some reason I don't know, it just doesn't really make a difference. If anything, I feel like it made it look worse, so I stick to 30. And I am super happy with it. I now have an iPhone 13, but I wouldn't say there's like a massive difference really. So I would say the most basic thing you could have is an iPhone. Doesn't need to be any crazy iPhone. As I said, this is an iPhone 12. iPhone 12 with 128 gigabytes. I would say if you are going to invest in a new phone for filming, definitely make sure you have plenty of storage space. That is the thing that I struggle with the most when filming, is having big videos, because I film very long videos. It takes up a lot of storage, especially if you are also editing on your phone, which I'll get into. But this only had 128, and it basically just means that you need to be very wary about, you know, when you film a video. Ideally you would be editing and uploading it straight away as soon as possible, so that you can continue to film and keep the momentum going, you know. So that's the only thing is I would suggest, if you are going to invest, definitely make sure you are thinking about the storage and how much you will be storing on the phone. But yes, this is all I started with, this, and I used the InShot editing app on my iPhone. It worked pretty well for the most part. I have since moved on to CapCut, and I would say that if you're starting out, I'd suggest using CapCut. I can't really remember why I didn't use CapCut in the beginning. I think I just looked up like video editor, and InShot was one of the first ones that came up. Has pretty good reviews, but just be wary if you are going to use it that I did have some files corrupting on there, some issues with my videos, so yeah, I would be wary. And sometimes if you don't finish editing in one sitting and you back out, like you'd lose progress, or you'd go back in and it wouldn't load, like it just wasn't the best. I have found CapCut to be generally more reliable. I have found that with CapCut there are a few more paywalls that you may come across, but for the most part I have not had to pay for anything. I use it for free, and it is a very good app for editing. I don't really use it for crazy editing because it's casual ASMR that I think I do. So if you want to have like a more fun experimental editing styles, maybe you are better having like some sort of pro subscription, but that is for you to decide on how you want to make your videos. So in my opinion, this is all you need to start making ASMR. Lo-fi ASMR is how I started this channel, and I still make lo-fi ASMR. I literally filmed a lo-fi video the other day. So lo-fi is really good ASMR, and I made maybe like 3 or 4 lo-fi videos on the channel before I invested in a mic. The reason being, I wanted to see if I actually wanted to continue it, if I was enjoying it, if I was keeping up with the editing and the uploading. So my advice would be to use a device you already have, a phone. You could even use a laptop, an iPad, any type of thing that you can record videos on. Use that to record and upload, edit some videos, see if you like it, get a feel for the space and what you want to create, and if you still want to, that's where I would move into investing in a Blue Yeti mic. This is the ride or die ASMR mic. I think it always sounds good no matter what channel I'm on. I love Blue Yeti ASMR. It's so good. So this is my Blue Yeti that I got maybe like a year or so ago now. I upgraded. This is not the original mic that I started with on the channel. I started with a second-hand Blue Yeti mic that I got from CEX. My personal experience with the second-hand mic, I invested in the second-hand mic because I didn't want to pay full price for a microphone that I might end up just wanting to trade back in. So I thought, I'll pay just over half price and get a second-hand one. All the reviews were suggesting that there really was no difference. These mics were very good quality, so I decided to get the CEX one. I wish, personally, I know like hindsight is, we always think that we know better, but I wish that I had just got a full priced mic, because for the start of my channel, I was using this mic and I had a lot of issues with this microphone. There was like a constant kind of buzzing, background noise. I had to have the gain on a very specific level so that the noise was kind of drowned out. It was like only some of the settings sounded good. I couldn't really use the full mic, and that was really frustrating. I would like film certain videos and it kind of like made me feel bad about the content that I was putting out at the time, especially when people would comment on it, and I was like, it's so disheartening when you are thinking you're making good videos, but then you feel like other aspects of the videos are letting you down. So that was kind of like something that I wish that I just invested in a brand new mic. I've not had the same issues with this mic, and I mean it done me well, but I paid like almost 60 quid for a mic when I could have just paid £40 more for the mic that I have right now that I loved bits. I checked before I started filming that the mic that I purchased like 3 years ago, I don't even know how long it was that I started my channel, that's so bad. Whenever I bought that mic, it was about like 50 odd pounds, and I got this one, I think they retail for about £100 or something like that, maybe just under £100, and I got mine on Logitech. Pretty sure they have like a 10% like off your first order as well. So realistically, I wish that I just spent on the brand new mic. But that's just my second-hand experience. You might get a second-hand mic and it might work perfectly fine. So if you do choose to get a Blue Yeti mic for starting out, you will get your connector this a USB, but I don't know what this one will be. This one goes into the Blue Yeti. This is a little Amazon Basic that I got because my connector I got second hand with my last mic was very, very bad. I think it just stopped working, so I had to get some spares throughout that. Very annoying. Like, extra money that I ended up spending. The cable that I got with this brand new has not proved to have any issues, so touch wood. So you'll need one of these, and another thing that you will need, this is a little iPhone USB connector. This is another little cheap Amazon one that I had at the start. I went through like 3 of these cheap ones on Amazon. They are just not very good quality and they prove to have a lot of difficulties. So I would not recommend that you get one of these ones, and I would just invest in one of these Apple ones. This is really, really good. You get like the kind of notification on your phone to like connect it properly, and I've never had any like weird buzzing connectivity issues with this. So this is the Lightning to USB 3 camera adapter. A little bit more pricey, but worth it in my opinion, because I probably spent more going through the cheap Amazon alternatives. So also this is not an Apple ad, this is just like my experience, what works for me. None of this stuff in this video has been gifted to me. I've bought it all out of my own pocket, and it's all my genuine experience with these products. It just so happens that these 2 products have really worked for me, and I've always used Apple products. Like, I've always had an iPhone. Everything's on my iCloud, so like I would never change to a different phone, you know. Another thing you're going to want to invest in is a tripod. This, it clearly is not the tripod that I'm using. I have 2 tripods. Unnecessary. You only need one realistically, but I have one of the, I think it's called a jobby. If you're Scottish, you'll know why that's funny. I'll put a photo of it up. It's like very, very bendy. You can attach it to things, so I have that one on my window ledge, and that's what I film these videos with. This bigger one that extends out to be taller than me is really good if I am wanting to do a different position and I don't have height or somewhere to like set my tripod up high. This is really good for that. So I used this one far less. I also used this one when I am filming my Minecraft gameplay videos. This is what my camera, my like face cam, will be filmed on. So videos like that, this gives you more versatility. You don't really need to buy a good quality one to start out though. There are like cheap alternatives in like a pound shop or a supermarket. Like, you will be able to find cheaper alternatives, but I don't think this was very expensive, so yeah. Another kind of non-essential, but I would say if you are doing ASMR and going to stick with it, it kind of does become essential, are mic covers. I have a very breathy whisper. That's why I usually have this big cover on to kind of soften that a bit, because I am a rambler on this channel. Not necessarily a bad thing. I think it's all just down to like personal preference and the ASMR that you're going to be making. If you are not going to be talking super close to the camera, the mic, and you're maybe just going to be focusing on triggers, then you might not need these until you kind of want to be switching things up. But they are really, really fun to play around with and see how they affect the sounds that you're making. And they Selfie LED light. I got this on Amazon. It has this little screw on bit as well, but I mainly just use this little clip. And you can adjust it here based on how stiff you want it to be, where you want it to sit, but basically it just goes over your camera and you don't see it, and then you've got your light there. It's got a little on-off switch, and then you can also, the one it's like blind you can change how bright it is. It's quite versatile considering it's quite a small light, and then you can change if you want it to be cool, you want it to be warm, or you want it to be more neutral. Very, very good, and quite a powerful little light as well. The battery on this is actually really, really good and long lasting. Very easy and quick to charge as well in my experience. I used to have a really crappy, cheap little attachable ring light, and it would die before I'd even finished like a 20-minute video. Would not recommend. I like these little like light boxes as well. Sometimes I will put like a little white t-shirt over this to diffuse it a bit more as well. So this is really, really handy. Further into lighting is sunset lamps. This is an orange sunset lamp. I have one in the background right now. The one I have in the background is better than this one. The glass bit twists off and you can change what colour it goes. This one was just orange, but I think it's actually broken now. These are really fun to have for nice background lighting, and you can get them in a lot of places now, so not so expensive I wouldn't think either. Another thing that I would say is non-essential but fun to have is an iPad and an Apple Pencil. This is a nice combination if you want to get creative with your thumbnails. I use Canva to make my thumbnails, so I can do that on my phone, which is also free app to use. But if I am doing my Minecraft videos, I need to cut out precise little me to put in that usually, and I will do that on my iPad. I also have Procreate on here, which is a paid drawing app that I get a bit more creative sometimes on my book channel. I mainly keep my ASMR thumbnails pretty simple these days, but when I was starting out I would go a bit crazy. I'd go a bit crazy on Canva. So this is just a fun combination if you are a bit more artistic, want to be a bit more creative, and actually like freehand draw things. Great combination. A thing that I really, really love that I now have, but definitely don't need to start out, definitely don't need to make your channel successful, is a MacBook, or just any laptop really. This is my MacBook Air. I got this a year ago now, and I absolutely adore this laptop. Very, very easy when you have an iPhone to sync everything up with a MacBook. That's personally one of my favourite things about having these two devices. Easy to transfer your videos from one to the other. Same with the iPad, it's perfect and just really, really handy. Makes everything a bit easier. I mainly use this though if I want to edit on DaVinci Resolve. That's a free platform that I use on this to edit videos. Mainly I edit and film my gameplay videos on this. That's why I needed the upgrade, but other than that you don't really need it. This is great though if you do want to make gameplay ASMR. This, a capture card, some HDMI cables, a monitor, and a PS5 and Xbox One, whatever. This, you're good to go. I have OBS and DaVinci Resolve on this, both free, really, really good platforms to use to record and edit. So good. You could also have a Photoshop subscription on this as well if you wanted to get even more creative with your thumbnails and your videos. editor as well. It's very, very nice to use. I don't really know how to show this one. I guess I'm gonna like spin you around a little bit. This is last but not least. This ring light is attached to my desk via this arm. It's very easy to move up and down, side to side. This goes out like this. This moves in here as well. This is where and how I film my Pokemon videos, with this pointed down at my desk. But sometimes I will film here and put my phone in here and have it like facing towards me. I'll be filming over here, whatever. This is also really easy to use because I usually always sat in my desk like this. It's easy to put my phone in here if I want to make horizontal content without having to like set because my tripod is like a bit finicky to move on my window ledge. It's a bit harder to do the horizontal content here, so I'll usually use something like this or my longer tripod because they're just easier. But I mainly got this for my Pokemon videos. This is what I use. Okay, now have it like that and then have my phone in here pointing down. Also how I filmed my Stardew videos, but very, very good. Don't think it was massively expensive either. I want to say like 30 to 40 pounds. Get a button, remote controlled ring light as well. You can change, like the other light I showed you, you can change the cool warm tones, whatever, of your ring light, and you can change how bright it is. I think this is great. I will say I kind of don't like using lights in my videos either, and it's why I mainly use natural lighting, is because I hate the glare that my glasses get. Like that green, obviously it's not too bad because I'm in daylight right now, but when the entire room is dark, that like green thing that goes in my eye irks me like no other. Like maybe you guys don't mind, but it's mainly why I either don't wear glasses when